Hola chicos, bienvenidos a mi canal. Soy Hawani. Now, shortcuts to understanding and speaking Spanish. Now, I've broken these down for you into 3 simple steps. Step number 1, some of us are still struggling to string sentences together in Spanish. So here's one very simple verb that'll help because it's regular, but also it's a great way to start off a sentence. Por ejemplo, necesito ir al baño. Necesito ir al baño. I need to go to the bathroom. Necesito trabajar más porque quiero más dinero. Necesito trabajar más porque quiero más dinero. I need to work more because I want more money. Necesito ampliar mi vocabulario. Necesito ampliar mi vocabulario. I need to amplify my vocabulary. Now, if you can start by learning necesito, so necesito, I need, and necesitas, necesitas, you need, those are the most important conjugations of the verb necesitar to start off with, because as I've mentioned before, when you start learning Spanish and when you start speaking Spanish, you'll mainly in conversation be speaking about yourself and the other person that you're speaking with. However, I will put the other conjugations along with some other examples for you for the verb necesitar in the description box for you below. But as you can see, it's a really good verb to start off a sentence. Step number 2, understanding basic language patterns. So there are some patterns in Spanish that will help accelerate our Spanish learning and comprehension. So if we start off by looking at these 3 words here in English, we've got exactly, sincerely, and possibly. So do you notice any type of pattern? Yes, you can see in English they all end in ly, so they have that ly ending. Now let's translate these words over to Spanish. So we've got exactamente, exactamente, sinceramente, sinceramente, y posiblemente, posiblemente. So do you notice a pattern here? Yep, so we can identify now that any word in Spanish with the ending mente simply translates to the ly ending that we have in English. Some more examples: honestamente, honestamente, totalmente, totalmente, actualmente, actualmente. Now be aware of actualmente. When I first started learning Spanish, I thought it meant actually, but actualmente actually means currently. Completamente, so completamente, and I'll leave some more examples in the description box for you below. Another really useful pattern to look at, let's first look at these 3 words in English. We've got university, we've got city, and we've got community. Now, what's the pattern here that you notice? Yep, they've all got that ity ending in English. Now, let's translate these words over into Spanish. We've got ciudad, so ciudad, and we've also got comunidad, so comunidad. Now, can you see the pattern here in Spanish? Yeah, so now we know that any word with that ending in Spanish simply translates over to the ity ending that we have in English. Let me give you some more examples. We've got capacidad, capacidad. We've got oportunidad, oportunidad, habilidad, habilidad. And I'll leave some more examples for you in the description box for you below. Step number 3, the best way to learn and retain words in Spanish is to talk about things that you're interested in or practice learning words that you use regularly in a conversation. Now, to give you an example, let's say, for example, you personally like to surf. So you like surfing, and surfing's one thing that you talk a lot about. So what we might do is, if you're learning Spanish, we might start off by thinking to ourselves, okay, first of all, what is the verb to surf? So the verb to surf is surfear, so surfear. Then we might think to ourselves, what are some other words that we use quite often in conversation that are related to surfing? So we might think, oh, okay, I need to learn this word, la playa, the beach, or maybe el mar, so el mar, the sea, or the verb nadar. So the verb nadar might be useful, to swim. So you can see where I'm going with this, and now we can start practicing some sentences related to what we're interested in this case, surfing. Por ejemplo, necesito más tiempo libre porque quiero surfear más. So, necesito más tiempo libre porque quiero surfear más. O me gusta surfear, so me gusta surfear, I like to surf. Or tengo que surfear este fin de semana. So tengo que surfear este fin de semana. I have to surf this weekend. Now, in my experience, it is a waste of time learning or memorizing words that you don't often use in a conversation. So to give you an example of what I did, when I first started learning Spanish, I watched about 4 or 5 different videos simply on learning the different names of fruits in Spanish. Now, personally, I don't actually eat a lot of fruits, and for the past 4 years, I've been consistently doing about 5 to 6 one-hour Spanish classes each week for the past 4 years. And I can't even remember a time off the top of my head in a conversation actually talking about fruits or using the different names of fruits in conversation. Now, yes, don't get me wrong, once you get more advanced, it is good to be aware of these particular words because they will come up every now and then in conversation with the person that you're speaking with. However, when you first start learning Spanish and when you first start trying to string sentences together in Spanish, if you spend a lot of time memorizing words that you don't often use in a conversation, in my experience, you're going to basically forget them. So you can probably see where I'm going with this point. Now, for any of you watching that are a little bit more advanced in your Spanish and can string sentences together, if you do have any other suggestions for people learning, for people trying to put sentences together in a conversation, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below if you think it might help someone else. Also, if you have anything in particular that I can help with, don't hesitate to leave a comment as well. Apart from that, if you got any value from this video, please don't hesitate to like the video. And if you haven't already, subscribe. But apart from that, I'll see you in the next one. Hasta pronto.